Gentlemen, let's have ourselves a little chat. Now, this is going to apply to, well, frankly, all the gentlemen who work in emergency medicine. However, I am going to probably gear this more slightly towards those of us who actually work in the hospital. Let's just say it's a little bit different environment being in house instead of out of the house. So, gentlemen, if you work in emergency medicine, in the hospital, out the hospital, I don't care. Let me make something plain. Your unit is not a place to go looking for a date. Now, there's an old adage that says, do not defecate and consume in the same place, otherwise known as don't shit where you eat. But I think every once in a while it needs to be said again out loud, so, well, this is me saying it. Gentlemen, it is not worth it. If you find someone that you are interested in, if they're interested in you, tremendous. I've currently I work in I work in the emergency room at my hospital. I've worked in the hospital for the better part of 3 years. I did 10 years of EMS before then. I've had the chance to work with some absolutely phenomenal women. But let me be emphatic. Your workplace is not somewhere that you should be looking for a date. You shouldn't even be looking for anything casual. That's a whole nother conversation, but we'll take one thing at a time. I say this because I've worked in this business for a while. When you work with women all the time, especially in a high stress environment like this, you get to know each other pretty well. People trauma bond. It's not uncommon of a thing, but I'm telling you right now, it's not the place that you want to try to find, well, really a relationship of any kind. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying it can't work. I can think of, well, two marriages that I can think of two marriages at least that I know that have come out from two people who work together. One was on the ambulance and one was in the hospital. And it did work for them. But that should not be your primary place that you're looking. Just think that one through for a minute. Say you do find someone that you're interested in. Say they're interested in you. You date. It's great. You break up. Now you're still trying to work together. How awkward is that going to be? And also, not only is it going to be awkward, but are you actually going to be able to do your job? Now, we are going to delve, and I am going to be honest here. This is much more for my gentlemen who are nurses, whether it be ER, in-house, anything. The simple fact of the matter is you are going to be surrounded by women. You're going to be surrounded by absolutely lovely women. This is still not the place that you want to be looking for a date. Not only that, but personally, don't be a flirt. Don't be weird about it. Do not be trying to pick up anybody in your unit. Number one, that's just lazy. Second of all, you do not want to be that guy. Because believe me, if you work in a hospital where again you're going to be outnumbered by women by probably by a factor of probably at least conservatively, let's say 9-1. There ain't that many of you walking around. You know what happens happens if you get a reputation as a guy who tries to start hitting on nurses, especially if you start are trying to sidle up and start talking to the brand new baby nurses right out of school, all those wonderful and lovely little 20 somethings fresh on the unit. You're there to do a job, and so is she. You ain't there trying to do anything beyond that. Again, you want to talk to somebody off your unit, that's a different story. But do not, for the love of all things holy, start trying to put any sort of a move on anyone that you directly work with. There is no scenario that goes well. Not only does it not go well, say you try to flirt, say you're not very good at it, say she shuts you down. You know what happens? She goes and talks to all of her friends. She goes and talks to all the other women on your unit. You know what's going to happen? You're going to get ostracized. You're going to get pushed away. Why? Because you acting creepy. There is no need for that. You're going to start making people feel uncomfortable. Hell, you do it too much, you're going to start you're going to start doing real stupid shit. You're going to start doing it to women who don't work with you. You're going to get yourself in trouble in another unit. Now you got a bad reputation in your unit, you got a bad reputation elsewhere. And again, hospitals, especially in nursing, are dominated by women. They talk. They're gonna talk. And to be frank, they should talk. There is no reason for that whatsoever. You do not want to be that guy. That is not the reputation you want to have. The reputation you want to have is just a stand-up guy who's a gentleman who's also really good at his job. Nothing else. You don't need anything beyond that. And if all of that isn't a bit of a motivation, consider this. You get that reputation as a guy who's always trying to weasel his way in with women, especially ones who have made it clear over and over that they do not have an interest in you. No one's going to want to help you. No one's going to ask for your help. They're going to go out of their way to say, please stay away from me. Then what do you have? You got a job with no friends, no help, and nobody wants to be around you. That's going to get lonely real fast. You ain't working on that unit to try to find a date. So don't.